to eastern and southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Hey, good Thursday evening. I'm Jim Freeman. We now know more about the 40th flood-related death Governor Andy Beshear announced earlier this week. The Pike County coroner told WYMT 76-year-old Glendale Hall of Virgie died on September 2nd. Hall was helping repair a flooded bridge when he fell into the creek bed. During today's Team Kentucky news conference, Governor Beshear announced that 40 funerals had been paid for by the Team Eastern Kentucky Flood Relief Fund. This means that Hall's funeral was one of the services covered by the fund. In total, the state has spent approximately $400,000 to pay for the funerals. Here's Beshear's statement from today.
As of today, 40 fatalities in 6 counties, 8 in Breathitt, 2 in Clay, 19 in Knott, 3 in Letcher, 7 in Perry, and 1 in Pike.
The past 3 deaths did not happen during the flood, but were flood-related. Officials stress caution and safety while cleanup efforts continue. While the floodwaters have receded, doctors say it's still important to listen to your body and stay safe during flood cleanup. Dr. Ferris Cotter says it's important to pay attention to your physical health if you've been helping with flood cleanup anyway. If you're experiencing health problems such as itching, sneezing, runny nose, or irritated eyes, go to your doctor. He also says if you have pre-existing health problems, do not overexert yourself. It's now 6 weeks after the flood, and we all know this has been a long process. The cleanup and the recovery is going to take months, maybe years, and the toll of this is more than just financial. It's emotional and it's mental. WYMT's Olivia Calfee spoke with a medical professional today to offer some help to those hurting.
The people in Eastern Kentucky are known to be resilient. But what do you do after a natural disaster when life gets hard?
People have suffered losses in different manners. They have lost their property, they have lost their investments, they have lost their loved ones. And we've had people who were just gone because of this tragic event.
Dr. Fazal is the Assistant Medical Director of Behavioral Health for ARH and works with various medical clinics in the area. He says there are important steps to take if you are struggling with your mental health.
First best thing you folks can do is talk to the next person to you. Tell someone how you're feeling. Let it out. Second thing is get help. There are resources outside which can come to you.
If you are okay but notice someone around you who might be struggling, he says it is important to get involved.
A few questions like, hey, are you okay? Is there anything I can do? We'll just immediately tell you their response, and you can assess whether it is their normal response or it is something different. And that can raise a little bit of red flag, and you can respond immediately.
He says first, offer help. Second, help reach out to a medical professional for expert help if needed. Do not take it lightly, and do not wait until it is too late.
Don't ignore any slight deviation from normal behavior,
because it could be a sign that someone around you might need extra help.
Be more sensitive to this situation because it might prevent somebody from going into severe depression or PTSD, or you might save a life of a person who might be thinking of ending it all.
Someone around you might be struggling. Do not wait to offer help or receive it. In Perry County, Olivia Calfee, WYMT Mountain News.
For help, you can call or text the number 988 or chat online, 988lifeline.org.
Well, gorgeous conditions continue all around the mountains this evening, though we do have one little exception. A look outside right now kind of shows you what that is. No weather worries out there, but notice we have the sunshine, but there's a little bit of a haze there on the horizon as we check in at 77 from our camera at Buffalo Mountain in southern Perry County. What is that? That is wildfire smoke, not from around the mountains, but you see that over the last 3 hours kind of moving through the region. That's from out west. Big time fires across portions of Nevada into California, even into portions of Montana. That is being picked up by the jet stream and moved into our direction. So that's what you're seeing out there tonight. so you will see the potential for a little bit of that smoke, and it's actually going to be a nice sunset out there tonight. Middle 70s as we start to fall, dew points near 60, so we're in good shape tonight, and we're down into the upper 50s with mostly clear skies, just a little bit of patchy fog overnight. And coming up, I'll have details on when we could see a return to some summer-like heat. That's coming up in a few minutes. Jim?
Okay, very good, Evan. Many questions have surfaced since the flood for survivors, including how and when they can rebuild their homes. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox details how a lot of flood victims are now finding out rebuilding may be even more complicated than originally thought.
Eastern Kentuckians across the region have been living in floodplains without a permit for years. Now that their houses were destroyed in the flood, many are finding out they need a permit to build back.
It's just something else we have to deal with after having our homes flooded and losing our automobiles and losing all of our possessions. And
Leadership in Letcher County are working fast to help survivors find solutions.
We're just trying to help people understand, do you need a permit? And if you do need a permit, walking them through what that process looks like so they can get it submitted and get things moving.
The County Judge Executive Office hired Stahl to speed up the process of finding out who needs a permit.
No, it's a very defined process. It's just a matter of making sure the maps are up to date, which is why KDOW's in the process of updating them even as we speak.
As fall draws near and temperatures drop, the importance of having a warm home is increasing.
And one thing is wintertime is coming on, and folks need to be back into their homes and back in a warm, safe environment.
With redrawn lines, Letcher Countyans are in limbo trying to rebuild their homes. In Whitesburg, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
There's no timeline showing when floodplain lines will be complete, but state officials recommend checking with the Kentucky Division of Water before rebuilding their homes. Now, if you register for FEMA's help by the September 28th deadline, what kinds of help can you receive? FEMA officials say you could receive home repair assistance, replacement assistance for a primary residence that was destroyed by the disaster, reimbursement for out-of-pocket lodging costs because of damage, rental assistance, and help replacing personal property, moving and storage expenses, transportation assistance, and funeral, medical, dental, and child care assistance. The search continues for two missing women nearly 2 months after they were swept away by flooding in Breathitt County. And that search comes as one community is moving forward with a lawsuit, blaming a mining company in the wake of the flooding. Samantha Valentino has details.
Search and rescue crews are continuing their searches for two missing Breathitt County women, 60-year-old Vanessa Baker and 29-year-old Nancy Cundiff. Crews will be out today and tomorrow conducting searches along the North Fork of the Kentucky River. Vanessa Baker and Nancy Cundiff were last seen on July 28th. According to Breathitt County Emergency Management, today marks the 10th day of searches, with more than a dozen agencies assisting in search missions so far. Both women are from the Laws Creek community of Jackson, an area hit hard by the historic flooding almost 2 months ago. Now, nearly 60 of their neighbors have filed a lawsuit against Blackhawk Mining. The lawsuit claims that the company's poor construction and improperly maintained silt ponds caused excessive water to flow through their properties. It claims the company did not follow state regulations of reclamation, making the flooding significantly worse.
And I've done 5 or 6 of these big flood cases over the years, and Lost Creek was by far and away the hardest hit area. I know there's a lot of devastated areas, but Lost Creek is the worst. I think there's been at least 3 fatalities up there. And like I say, we're trying to get them into court system and get the case moving as quickly as we can to try and get some eventual relief.
Tonight, attorney Ned Pillersdorf is hosting a meeting for the individuals in this suit. He'll be introducing them to a hydrologist who studies water and its movement. That hydrologist has toured homes damaged by the floods and is now listening to victims. This is all a part of his investigation to determine whether he'll get involved in this case. In Breathitt County, Samantha Valentino, WKYT.
During his weekly Team Kentucky update, Governor Andy Beshear announced an additional 51 travel trailers have arrived in eastern Kentucky since September 7th. He said 371 individuals are being housed in the 132 travel trailers located across 7 state parks. Individuals needing emergency shelter in travel trailers can register online at governor.ky.gov/flood resources or by simply calling 502-234-1225. The Community Trust Bank in Neon reopened this week. The bank was damaged by floodwaters in downtown Neon, so a lot of the building had to be replaced. Marketing President Reed Caudle says they wanted to reopen quickly as a morale boost for the town.
We're just so glad to be back and be a part of it. We want to make a statement that we're here for Neon and we want to help our community the people in Neon.
Caudle said 4 out of the 5 Letcher County locations have now been reopened, with the Isom branch still in progress. Governor Andy Beshear also announced today that Lee County residents are now eligible to receive disaster unemployment assistance. People can apply for benefits online, the Kentucky Career Center website, or by calling 502-875-0442. That deadline to apply is October the 10th. And we'll be back with more WYMT Mountain News at 6.
WYMT News app offers alerts on breaking stories